Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Untold. I'm your host, Ahmad ALMazeedi, joined by Hussein Ajouz. And boy, we've had so many wonderful episodes.
Yes, we did.
And we can't just let them go. We want to go back and revisit the best moments on the Untold, the best stories that have been told on the Untold.
Say one more time for me. On the told, on the untold. No, a lot of lessons also learned.
Yeah.
So grateful for them.
Yeah, we've had guests from different backgrounds, different topics. We've learned and grown over the period of making this show. And there's just so
Every
much.
conversation had a thing to it.
Had a thing to it.
Whether it was art, traveling,
yes.
adventure, sports.
And each brought its own unique story that
Yeah.
made it memorable for the both of us and the audience. But here is your chance, if you missed it, to catch it again. Let's roll the clip.
We're back from the break and we can finally welcome our guest, George Basoud. George, Ahmad and I are very excited to have you here. We want to know all about the social media world. All right, shall we start with the big question, I think? Helen, can human beings and general, or people, especially in Kuwait, live without social media? What do you think?
Definitely not. This is
Definitely not.
yes. I believe like the majority of the people will can never live without social media. It's the new. It's not the new thing. It has been growing over the past years, and it's becoming. It's more becoming of a need than a want. That's how I see it.
You know, Ahmad, have you heard that? I think one of the celebrities, he had a kind of a speech where he was saying that, Will Smith, was saying that risk being seen. Like you risk being seen, like I will say 100%. And I think when you risk being seen, that's when you discover a different side to yourself. A side that maybe George has never even imagined.
That's true.
Perhaps.
That's very true. Ahmed Lansari, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Welcome on show.
Thank you.
I can't wait to honestly hear about the untold stories. There's always a very interesting story to every guest. And I think yours is going to be full of adventures.
Very, very adventurous.
Full of lessons as well.
Full of lessons, hopefully. Well, let's start broad. K-Flag team. Who's on the team? What is the team? Purpose of the team? What do you guys achieve?
Well, to begin with, just a brief history, let's say. There was a group of managers and team leaders from the oil sector. They, I wouldn't say established a team. They were just a group of friends that happened to be in the oil sector. Afterwards, Bad Khawazad, the team leader, had a vision to establish a new team and not just restrict the membership on the oil sector, but rather than to open up to everybody. Anybody interested, they can simply contact any member of the team and join. So the idea of the flag came about to sort of unify, rather than just specify certain conditions for the team members.
When we say the idea of the flag, what do you mean the idea of the flag? Are we talking about raising the flag in certain locations to get the record?
It started to get a record, yes, but right before getting the record, right before having the idea of breaking or establishing new records, I'd say Fuad was thinking about something that unifies people, something as a symbol. The idea of the Kuwaiti flag came about as the one thing that unifies the whole country, the whole population. And I couldn't agree more, to be honest.
Let's just say start with Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, ¿cómo estás? مساء الخير.
I like that. I like
right
that.
back, you know? There you go.
So we have Mercedes. Mercedes, can you just take me and Ahmed through a journey of your life?
Yeah.
How about that? Short story long, or long story short.
Thank you for having me. First of all, it's a pleasure being on your show.
Thank you.
My name is Mercedes Vázquez, and as you may guess from my name, I am from Spain.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
It's a very Spanish name.
Very Spanish.
Contrary to what many may believe in,
Yeah.
it's actually a deeply rooted name that goes back to Spain's history.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, it
Nice.
was the name of a queen in Spain as well.
Oh, wow.
Like a queen.
Is there a definition for the name or a meaning behind the name?
Yeah, it means merciful.
Oh, that makes sense now.
Mercedes the Merciful.
Merciful.
I like that.
That's
That's the
I
origin,
like
that's the meaning. So it's deeply rooted in our society.
Nice.
You will find lots of Mercedes, but I guess the international factor was not taken into consideration
Yes.
when my name was chosen
Yeah.
as Mercedes.
As Mercedes, yeah.
Life is unexpected, and I ended up living in Kuwait. So back over 7 years ago, I took a leap of faith. And I left the comfort zone of my nation, Spain, and I moved to Kuwait. I have always been very passionate on the intersection of business and technology. That's what I have fostered.
Okay.
And I have always been very much driven by innovation and curiosity. And so that sort of curiosity has enabled me to build bridges between continents.
Nice.
I have always been very active on LinkedIn, which is a platform that I
Yes.
use quite a lot. And through that platform, one day back in 2015, I got a job offer.
In where job offer, where exactly? The job
It
offer?
was in the commerce space back in 2015 in Kuwait.
Okay.
Because my journey in Spain had started in e-commerce in 2013. So back in 2015, the e-commerce market in the GCC, not even Kuwait, was not as grown as it is today, which is pretty much of an utility, let's say, rather than a commodity. And so, that's what brought me here.
Wow. So this is what brought you to Kuwait, you mean?
Yeah.
Because I was actually just gonna ask that.
Yeah.
Out of all countries in the world.
Yes. Why did you choose to migrate? First of all, not just Kuwait, migrate from your country. That's a
Spain.
First, Spain. And then why Kuwait?
So as I said, I did not choose it.
Leap of faith.
It chose
Leap
me.
of faith. It chose you.
It chose me. It
Kuwait
was
chose
destiny.
Mercedes.
It was destiny. It was a leap of faith. I just gave it a try. So I thought, again, because I have a very curious mind, and I thought,
Yeah.
if I will never try, I will never know. And I also believe that opportunities
Yeah.
come to pass, not to
Yeah.
pause.
Nice.
And
nice.
so that leap of faith has taken me here.
Shafi, we spoke a lot so far, but I think one thing we need to ask you more about the struggles.
Okay.
Being the person that you do what you do, and being someone that moved from one job to another, and having a full-time photography job, it's not easy. People see your end result, the pictures, but I'm sure behind every picture there's a
Big story.
big story.
Yes.
Share with us.
Okay. First, I will tell about the struggles behind, because it's a transformation. It's not a one-day job. Because as far as I started photography in 2000, let's say, in serious photography in 2012.
Yeah.
I was exploring in Kuwait. Then I was thinking like what we earn, we will giving back to the community.
Yeah.
So we will tell the community. So I was gathering people for the same interest. So I found few people. We started going as a group in different locations in Kuwait to explore and take new photos and learn the camera techniques and everything. So this become growing more and more. Then in 2014 we did a bigger event, because I had a dream that there should be a specific event which will happen every year. So I started Make a Memorable Sunrise in Your Life, titled.
Okay.
So in January 1st, every year January 1st in Kuwait Towers.
Nice.
Okay, I started in 2014.
What happens there?
So every year it used to grow, and now it's a bigger event. It's
Wow.
happening regularly every event.
Every January
year,
1st?
January 1st
Wow.
at the Kuwait Towers.
That's awesome.
Okay.
What do people do exactly?
Memorable Sunrise in Your Life. That's the title.
They take a picture of.
No,
they
we will
watch
gather
it,
all
then-
the photographers there in Kuwait Towers.
Oh wow! They just watch the sunrise.
Yeah, they watch, because the January 1st sunrise is a new
Right.
beginning.
It's a new year.
New year.
Wow.
So and it's in the beginning only like a few my friends and other
Exactly,
people
that's
were
all it
joined.
is, yeah.
But
Now
it
it's
grew over the years.
It's grew. It's multinational.
Okay.
Nationalities from all like
So
everywhere,
then we
like-
have a photography community in Kuwait.
yes.
And boy, look at that.
Here we are.
I told you, so many different topics and
100%.
stories we've covered.
I agree.
Tell me a few things you've learned about yourself hosting for the first time
Yeah, for the
on
first time.
TV.
For the first, I
Yeah.
think. I'll be honest. In first instance, like just like anything else, whether it's running, sports, TV, anything else, the first thing that's gonna come to your mind is, it's challenging. I've never done this before,
Right.
and the first question is, why bother, right?
Why bother?
But then again, you have to tell yourself that I believe in a long-term vision,
Yes.
just like all of our guests did.
Yeah.
My long-term vision is X, Y, and Z. Sometimes it's vague, unclear, but I believe in it. And honestly, just say yes to the next opportunity, and you'll be filming a beautiful episode
Yeah.
on the Untold with Ahmad ALMazeedi.
Ah.
And who would have thought that would happen?
Come on.
Who would have thought? Not me.
Well, I guess it was destiny, my friend.
What about you?
What about me?
Yeah, what did you learn
What did I learn?
about yourself?
I will tell
Not
you.
told.
I will tell you
Not for the first time.
after we watch a few more of these scenes.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the Untold. Honestly, it's always very nice to have an adventurer, such a traveler. I know.
Well, I'm trying to be. Thank you.
Yeah, you're a world traveler by now, my friend.
It's fair to start asking the question that you're an engineer,
Yes.
profession, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting that we're sitting here to talk to you mainly about traveling and biking as an experience. So perhaps you can tell us a little bit more about you as a person that started in engineering and how today we're talking about something that's so adventurous, like biking.
Well, in the beginning, like when I was a teenager, I used to be a basketball player, and so actually I traveled in some countries with the team, and that influenced me to travel a lot. And when I started my university degrees, I started in England for some time, worked a little bit there in the 90s. That gave me an influence to see Europe. When I came back, I worked in a private company that works all over the world. So actually, what happened is seeing some part of the world no one ever seen, just hear about it. Just for short times, of course. Came back, joined the company now I'm working with, and went to study again in the States. That gave me another impression and another idea to see the United States as a biker.
Nice.
And that's what once really started. To see some states on the first bike I bought in the state, which is a trike. And I was going everywhere with my wife, actually, all over the states. Well, not all over the states, just a few states.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's still takes a lot. So you've been doing this 47 years exploring the world on a bike, right?
No, I wouldn't say 47 years. I would say, actually, I've been traveling on the bike for the past, I would see, 7 years.
7 years.
7 years.
So what is this that I have about 47 years?
47 years, this is my age.
Well, honestly, good to know. Good to
That's
know.
it's good to know. That's good to know.
Is it true? All right, because a lot of people talk about bikes. I've never been on a bike, but everyone I ask about the biking experience, they say it's addictive. They say
is.
being on a bike is addictive. The adrenaline rush that you get is something that you always want to feel. Is it true?
It is, especially the bikers, they're trying to find places, a lot of kids with it, with high altitudes, so they feel the adrenaline rush all the time.
Yes.
You're chasing it every time.
Yes, and you feel free. Believe me, you feel freedom.
Feel free.
You just remove all the stress.
why sales from the start?
Yeah.
What's the first step? What got you into this? Why not marketing? Why not anything else? Why sales?
Now, if we really look at it, we are all sales. I mean, in every interaction, we either sell or buy. So
Nice.
that's why.
That's a good concept.
Technically is still fine. I mean, technically it's true. Like, part of being human is that we sell something every day.
Yeah. No, we used to sell since we were kids. I mean, we used to sell to our parents, go out.
Right, right. We're always pitching. So
Exactly.
pitching.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how do you sell an experience? How do you do?
Compared to our products.
Yeah. Look, experience is really something that you take longer than a product. So if you buy a phone, at some point you will need to change.
Yeah.
Right.
But experience is a memory that you could carry
Lives
a life.
lifetime.
So sales and hospitality, you just design this experience for someone that would take it for a lifetime. So our goal is always to make it remarkable
Nice.
and memorable.
There must be a lot of psychology behind that, though.
Absolutely.
When you're dealing with, I mean, you have so many different kinds of customers. You have the angry ones, the happy ones, the annoying ones, the hungry ones, and the hangry ones.
The hangry ones you gotta watch out for.
It's just that you have so many different types of customers, and then you're sitting there with the role of, I need you all to leave happy.
True.
That's one of the biggest challenges. How do you do it?
Look, from my perspective, I believe when you sell, your goal is to get this person to trust you, because the moment they trust you, they will buy whatever you're selling. So
How do you establish that trust?
look, it's showing care. It's being there whenever needed. You show your interest in the customer.
Right. Yeah.
You understand your customer and you know their needs.
You want a theoretical answer or a real answer?
Come on, be honest.
Nowadays, I am not a big supporter of the educational system in the world.
Interesting.
Yeah, because
That's a big take.
yeah.
So you gotta explain to that.
There's the camera.
I mean,
Because it teaches you not to be an entrepreneur. It teaches you to always stay by the wall.
doesn't allow you to think outside the
Exactly.
box.
Exactly.
And that's what you need.
Yes.
Successful.
Yes. Yes. This is the nature of a human being since God created Adam and Eve.
But I think, is it because when you're learning, especially in higher education, they teach you how not to step outside the box. But because you're learning what the box is made of, almost. Because otherwise you're not aware of what the box is.
Okay.
But you sit in class, they tell you the box is literally 1, 2, and 3, and 4. You start thinking.
But then they're limiting you.
Exactly, they are.
Yes,
They're shaping the box.
Let's look at the super big technological company without mentioning.
without mentioning.
Okay, they're run by college dropouts. All of
Steve Jobs.
I don't know. Can I? Can
Of course, Steve
Jobs, Bill Gates, Page brothers who created Google.
But we have to agree. I mean, obviously, I completely respect and appreciate your perspective. But education can also benefit many.
Yes, first.
Athletes. And there's so much you can learn from it, whether it's the theories or the people.
Yeah, but it's not everything.
Of course.
Yeah, I would say it makes up 30%.
But as you said, you cannot put all of your eggs in one basket. And assuming if you depend only on education, you'd be doing that.
Yes, you'll be always an employee. You'll be always living by your salary, day by day.
You're not taking ownership of your life.
Yeah,
Whatever makes people more satisfied, I think. To each their own, and
To each that.
and then one thing also I learned: not all people want to be entrepreneurs or business.
absolutely, that's very true.
Some of them,
Like me, I want to stay away.
yeah. So some people, their personality is to be an employee.
100%. Who is Yusuf Shelton?
Okay, I would love to start about the beginning of loving sport. I started to be as a bodybuilder in the beginning of my life, as any queries or most of the Arabs. Like, we have only two sports when we started, either football or bodybuilding. That's it.
Why do you think we have that? Just those two things.
In our time, in the 80s, I'm 1982. So, yeah, people in the 80s, this is the only two sport we had at that time. Either you be a footballer or you will be a bodybuilder. We didn't have another choice. Like other people, they do like swimming or another kind of sport.
That's adventurous.
Exactly, and we look at them like they are
like,
the
wow,
more unique people, like
Like
really
the water
few of
polo
them.
people.
Yeah.
Water
Yeah,
polo.
they're like
yeah.
really few and like really talented. But for the majority, like normally, either soccer, football, or bodybuilding. So I started when I was 16 years old as a bodybuilder, and I start to go like heading to the kind of physique competitions, because bodybuilding, they have three type of competitions. They have bodybuilding or physique, or other one called I forgot what they call it, master something or something like that. So there's three kind of competitions. So I started to like the physique type, which is the one which you wear the swimming short and you will be in the stage and have like kind of symmetries and kind of being fit more than being huge and bald. So I started to be in love with this sport when I was teenager, until maybe when I was 29 years old. All these years, since 16 years old, I was in this field. And from Facebook, one of my Italian friend, he sent me a message and he told me like, hey, there's a race called Spartan. It's in Italy. It was this things in 2014.
So randomly.
Yeah, so random. He said like, this is a new sport. It's the first time ever they bring it in Italy, and it's quite similar to your type of job, because I work in the military, in the special forces. So he told me like, it's kind of about obstacles and it's like challenging. Would you love to try it with me? So I said like, yeah, why not? Let's get crazy.
Probably
a little
did
bit.
this in your drills for
Yeah,
the
exactly.
military. Yeah.
And said, okay, so I traveled to Rome and we did the race together. It was a sprint, which is 5 kilometer running and 20 obstacles.
Is the customer always right?
Okay. This is a tricky question.
This is where we go silent.
Yeah, this is where we go silent. Look, sometimes it depends. Sometimes the managers in the company needs to really stand in the employee side and tell the customer like, no, sorry, here you are wrong, and if you don't want to buy, it's okay not to buy. Here you put some boundaries to your brand, because also sometimes when you really go like, yeah, whatever he wants, I'm gonna give him, whatever he wants, I'm gonna do, whatever he say, I'm gonna just do anything just to calm him down, and so he doesn't go and talk bad about me. You're gonna also give him power over you. You're gonna devaluate your brand.
You lose the value of the brand, I think.
Yeah, I believe that. Not everyone agree with this. Some people still think the customer is always right, and no matter what he says. But it's not about always right. It's about also you have to know how to deal with him. Even if he's angry, even if he's screaming, even if he is yelling or whatever, you can be.
Why is the
aggressive
customer
with him.
always a male? It's just a joke.
Especially when he is screaming.
He is. Yeah. Actually, we talk about customer in a masculine way, not feminine.
I would just use they.
Yeah, we use customer.
Okay, so question about strategy in general. So marketing is not just a coincidence, right? It's a thing you have to think about and you have to strategize.
You have to plan very well.
A few questions, honestly, piled into one. Why is it that when we drive on the road, sometimes we see a car with a price, and then we drive and we see something that's very teasing, just a question. At another point, we see just a logo. What's the why are the brands targeting us with these different strategies? Does it bring different values to them, or what happens?
The thing, it depends. Like if you look at a very classy brands and premium and luxury, they try not to mention numbers. Either it's a jewelry or it's cars or it's whatever. They don't mention numbers, because when you're mentioning a number, you're doing this
mainly to attract the people that
buy,
you are
simply to
giving
buy.
here a very competitive price or a very attractive price.
And the ones for
This-
luxury, the ones that no. The
but
ones that
that-
no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Plus, when you are targeting the audience of a luxury brand, you're not gonna put for them the price and show them that they care about the price, because also they have some kind of ego
Yes.
that I don't care about the
That's a
price.
good one.
Like sometimes if you give them an offer, they're not gonna buy it. I'm sorry. Oh no, I don't buy when there is offer. I don't go if there's sale.
That's so
You know?
interesting. That's so interesting.
Yeah, because it's a perspective thing. So it depends on your brand. Yes, you should have a strategy.
Speaking of strategy,
Yes.
could we play like a little exercise?
Okay.
Let's say we want to market the Untold.
Okay.
And we come to you. How do we brainstorm? How do we come up with a great promo?
Okay.
Give us your.
There is something here.
expertise.
First of all, like, what is the objective of the marketing here? Do you
Yes.
want to sell? Do you want awareness? Do you want views? Do you want
Trying to get viewers, trying to get the word out about this show and stuff like
Yeah.
So does it depend on the life cycle of the brand? I mean, we are let's just say a new show just starting.
Exactly. If it's something like already known in the country, you have a different strategy for it
Brand
than
new-
than
brand
a
new
brand
I
new.
want to introduce into the market.
Exactly.
How do I go about doing that?
So first of all, you choose you have to know your audience. Who will be interested in the Untold? What is their
Demographics.
age, their demographics? Yes. And then you target them through the visual should be attractive to this audience themselves, or the creative. Either it's a video or a visual, whatever. Like is the material you're giving them, it should be attractive to them.
Attractive to them.
This one point. Then the digital media part, you have to
Digital media
target them in your digital media.
Yeah.
And
How do I
and
target
then
them?
especially how you target them, you put the specific words that this person, like let's
Right.
say you
Keywords.
search keywords. Exactly.
Podcasts, the guests on the show,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like people who are interested, like let's say you're talking about business, people who are interested in business to learn more, to
Exactly.
know more, something like
And that's the beauty of digital marketing, no?
Yes.
Where
Yeah.
you're able to do it. That's why you
and
said
sometimes not exactly the words of your brand. Like sometimes it's like this audience is also interested
Related, yeah,
in
other
something
interests.
like this.
Amazing.
You put
So
these
catch
keywords.
their eyes.
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
see like
exactly.
random hashtags under posts. They're not about the post. I sometimes like they're like, oh, this is not really about this post, but it's somewhat
This
Somehow,
those
yeah.
are easy.
So the
Yeah.
person who's interested in this will be interested in that.
Absolutely.
Like
There's a
as
quote.
comments.
I think one of the favorite quotes I heard before we wrap up in
Mr.
business.
Quotes, hit
No,
me with
I
it.
have to say it.
Hit
It's
me
like that.
with
It says, if the product is free, you're the product. And here we are, where even more beautiful moments,
Yes.
even more beautiful lessons.
Yes.
But before we continue with
Yeah,
them,
you want the
I
answer?
insist on
Yeah.
knowing what Ahmad learned about himself.
This is a different experience for me. I've been doing lots of movies, talk shows,
Yeah.
you know, over, under, clack it. But this one gets me in a different zone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to know my guest and guide them through a conversation that translates beautifully on camera, and we learn new stories.
100%.
The other thing I learned is that you're an amazing friend to have.
Thank you so much.
You know,
Appreciate
and
it.
you have a friend in me now after this show.
Yes.
And I'm about to sing Toy Story. No.
No, honestly, I agree with you. I think the most beautiful thing about the Untold, and especially the episodes that we just watched, is the human moments. Is that we connected on a human level, and the best part is that it's honestly a flowing conversation.
Yes.
I don't think it can get any nicer and any better.
Absolutely. And that was the end of our episode. We're reaching our end of the episode here. And tomorrow we're back with a brand new guest and continuing this lovely journey on the Untold.
Let's do it.
Good night.
Good night.